Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Whiteville, North Carolina, visiting Vann, Underwood, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and I'm checking out a 2018 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited in the Sahara trim level. Now this one, in addition to all the features that the Sahara has standard, this one has a lot of optional equipment added, which I'll show you all those detailed later in the video. So let's go ahead and get started. This Wrangler is sitting on 255/70 Goodyear tires in an all-terrain. It also has 18-inch alloy wheels with a dark gray finish. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated disc rotors in the front and solid rotors in the back. The name of this color is Bright White Clear Coat, and you can see it has the matching fender flares in white. You also have the protective plastic around the edges of them. So here in the front, it has a matte black bumper with the plastic covering the exterior bumper cover. Has a little vent surface there that matches the one on the sides. LED fog lights and a reflector housing. And all that is surrounded by a silver accent. See your tow hooks popping out the top. And you can see this is more like a previous generation Wrangler, where it has the headlights a little bit larger and they extend out into the grille design. Something different from the previous generation. Headlights are powered by LEDs for your low and your high beams. It also has an LED halo accent. It also has LED daytime running lights with turn signals there on the fenders. The windshield does fold down, and it's a lot easier to fold down now with only 4 bolts. And there's a little Jeep climbing on the side here. Little Easter egg. Now that was in the previous generations, but they did add little flip-flops right in here. It's kind of hard to see. You have to really get the right angle, and you can see them right in there. Okay, so looking at the profile of the Jeep, so this one has the black top. You can get the body matching color if you'd like. And in a previous video with the Rubicon, I made the mistake of thinking that these vents were solid. It was, for some reason, my senses weren't working properly. I felt it, I looked at it, it looked like it was solid. Partially it was cloudy, but they actually are clear, so the air was able to flow through them. It flows downwards from the engine compartment area, so that way the allows for cooling and things like that. So this one has a side step in the flat black, and it seems to be tucked in quite nice and matching the vehicle. It also has the black handles, and they also maintain the metal antenna here, so it's a flexible antenna that can be removed just by unscrewing it. I really like the 3-dimensional Sahara badging here on the side with the Jeep name, and then it says Wrangler Unlimited there. Also on the hinges, it has T50, indicating the Torx bit that you'll need to remove the doors. This is what the key looks like. Now all the new Wranglers have this key design. It does have the switchblade type key, but this one in particular has the remote start, the lock and unlock buttons, and it's the full proximity system. So you can keep this key in your pocket the whole time, open the doors, start the vehicle and everything. It could be in your pocket, in a bag, whatever, and you can use the vehicle. Let's go ahead and push this panic button. It's loud. The horn is really loud and strong, and it flashes the lights as well. As long as you have the key with you, it can be in your pocket, in a bag. As long as it's within a close proximity of this outside door, you can lock the door by pushing this button. To unlock it, you simply put your hand behind the handle. It senses your hand, position, and the key within a close proximity and allows you access to the vehicle. Now, there's also on the driver and passenger door is the physical key location. Taking a look on the inside of the passenger side door, you have soft to the touch surfaces here down. So you have like this synthetic soft material here, like a Nerf type material, and then you have a vinyl type material here for your armrest with the contrast stitching. And the hard plastics begin down here with a large, very large net pocket. It also has a handle right here to close the door with a little rubber pad on the inside with a, what some people are saying, a camouflage, it's a monotone camouflage pattern in it. That pattern is throughout the vehicle, and I'll try to point it out to you when I see it. Also, you have this portion here. Put your hand under it to lift the door off the hinges when you remove them. Makes it a little bit easier. Now, the doors are made out of aluminum, so they're a little bit light, but you still need to get a good firm grip on it so you don't drop it. Another thing I want to point out here that I noticed is that the door is not just free-flowing any way at once. In previous generations, basically the door was just free on the hinges. Now it has a door stopper, so it actually stops the door in certain locations here. So it doesn't close back on you when you're exiting the vehicle, or swing out too much when you're getting out close to other cars. There's your threshold. Has manually adjusted leather seats. You can see it has these are heated, by the way. They have the contrast stitching, and just these are actually, might be just my imagination, but they feel a little bit more comfortable than in previous models. It has the Sahara badging embroidered in the back of the seat. All four doors have a handle for entering the vehicle, and it's kind of like a hard plastic basically. But here on the dash is the leather wrapping with the stitching right here. So this is a soft touch surface all the way around, looking really nice. And then the handle here is a soft touch kind of grippy surface here. So when that's the iconic handle here for the Jeep. They've always had, from what I remember, even the old 70s models, from what when I was a kid, they always had some kind of handle here for the passenger to hold on to. Lockable glove compartment, and it's all smooth plastic on the inside. The floor mats snap in place. Now this one in particular has the rubber mats, and they conform to the vehicle really well. They snap in place, but also the carpet, you can unsnap that, and the carpet's removable, and you can clean out the inside of the vehicle. You can see a snap there on the side as well. From what I understand, most everything in this vehicle is water resistant or waterproof, so that way you can take the top off, and if it rains, it's not a really big deal. This one has the hardtop with a privacy glass on the rear windows, but you can actually see in here, it has the body colored roll bars. So this one actually see a little bit, because it's of course a white exterior. You have the white portion on the outside of the bars matching it, so when you take the top off, it all matches and looks pretty cool. All right, so let's look on the inside of the back door. So we have a soft touch surface here all the way down. Net pocket and a little handle under there to lift the door off, and then you have a little portion with that same pattern, camouflage pattern, I suppose. And you see the handle back here as well on both sides. Pockets on the back of the front seats. One piece rubber mat that goes all the way across, including the center portion. There's actually like a little shovel, a little prospector shovel X mark a certain spot on this, what appears to be a topographical map, which is pretty neat. Now you can lower the center portion for some cup holders and a little place to put some stuff. It also has the latch system for car seats, the ability to lower just the headrest separate from the seat. So we can just lower the headrest to get better visibility using a separate lever there on both sides. We can also fold the seats down. So I'll do that in just a second. In addition to the climate control vents there in the back of the console, you also have your window controls and 2 USB charge ports, the regular, and then 2 USB-Cs, which is a very common one. That's what my phone uses. And then you have a AC power adapter here, just like an outlet like you'd find in your house, and then some little storage pockets extending down. Okay, so lowering the seat, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So we pull, you can see that lever there for the headrest separate, and then this is the one you'd pull, it lowers both of them. So as you go down, it's a 60-40 split. As you can see, it automatically folds the headrest down. You fold it down, but as you do that, it lowers the bottom portion as well. So as I lower it down, it tries to give you as much room as possible by stacking the seat and not wasting any space underneath the seat. So now you've extended your cargo space by this portion while still maintaining passenger space on that side, which is nice. There's some speakers up here. There's actually 2 speakers behind each one of these speaker grills. And then you have some tap lights with a dome light there in the center, as well as one here in the back. And the inside of the hardtop has that same camouflage type pattern. And you notice the roll bars are black on the inside and white on the outside. So that way that white, or whatever the color may be, doesn't distract you or, you know, anything like that. It's just a black interior. And you can see the transition there from black to white there on the bar. You can actually see the bar right here too. Then you have the black plastic on the inside. This Wrangler is equipped with a blind spot monitor system. You can see the little triangle. Hopefully you can see that in the side mirror. So each side mirror has a little triangle which will illuminate when there's a vehicle in your blind spot on the driver or passenger side. It also serves as the rear cross traffic alert system, and the sensor is actually right here in the side of the rear light. It had to extend it out a little bit so that way it can clear this fender as well as the spare tire. So taking a look at the back of the vehicle, the hardtop has this little portion here extending out. It also has these gutters, and of course the privacy glass. It has the rear defroster and windshield wiper and washer here in the rear glass, which you'll have to unplug. That has a little harness to unplug so you can remove the hardtop. Backup camera is located right here in the center of the vehicle, center of the spare tire, and it's a metal housing, so it's very durable. Third brake light is right here, and it's adjustable. You can raise this up or down depending on which size spare tire you have on the vehicle. It also, this one in particular, has the parking sensors across the back as well. There's your tow hook on that far left side and your exhaust neatly tucked here on the right side. License plate has been moved from here to here. Tailgate's a little bit bigger from what it looks like. And you notice that the handle back here is the, you know, proximity handle, so that way you can open it up. So as I put my hand back there, it recognizes the key, it recognizes my hand, and it unlocks the doors. You also have the ability to relock it. So if you want to open up, get something out of the back and relock it, you can do that easily without taking the key out of your pocket and without, you know, unlocking any of the other doors. So opening this up, I'm going to open up as far as it'll go, give you an idea of how far it goes out. And one thing I noticed, it has this little place, what appears to be a place to put a you know, a drink, a can, or bottle of water right there. Then you have this little plate, which is actually aluminum, and it's riveted on there, showing you some of the dimensions of the Jeeps. 2-door, 4-door, and the water fording and all that. Accessing the cargo area is real easy with the hardtop, and just lift it up like so. Okay, so here's your cargo area. When you have all the seats occupied with passengers, this is the amount of space you have, which is very significant, especially the height. really nice. Now here on the left side is a 12-volt power supply. You notice it has a little battery next to it, showing you that it's always connected to the battery. You don't have to switch the vehicle on to use that outlet, which is really nice, especially if you're just, you know, tailgating or whatever. You don't want to have to turn the vehicle on to access that power. So you have the 10-inch Alpine subwoofer back here, which sounds fantastic. You should check out my I have a video where I just kind of crank up the music and let it play so you can hear what it sounds like, which is cool. Here's some of the accessories the vehicle came with. Has the Torx kit tool. It also has a mat for the storage compartment under here, and then this is the Freedom top bag to put the tops there in the front, in there, and then it kind of straps up out of the way. You can lift this up, and this is where that mat I just showed you goes in. There's actually a drain plug, so in case this gets filled with water, you can drain it out. And you also have a place to put your door hinges and roof and windshield bolts here. This also lifts up. See if I can do it one-handed. Then you have your jack and tools for your spare tire, as indicated right here. Now this compartment is locking because when this is closed and the tailgate is closed and locked, it'll lock this compartment. So this, the center console, and the glove compartment are your three lockable compartments while you have the top off. So you get a little bit of an idea of what the roll bars look like. Well, maybe one day I'll be able to take the top off and show you what they look like, but just to give you an idea, it's a body colored, so if you have a red Jeep, they're going to be red. In this case, it's white. And you can see it has the interior, has that quote camouflage style. I'm assuming that's what it is. The tail lights are LED powered in this particular model. It also has the LED powered lamp for the license plate, which is nice. Fuel door is here on the driver's side. Pretty traditional cap with a tether exposed. And from what I understand, they actually made the fender flares a little bit smaller, and they try to make as much room as possible so you can actually put 35s on here from the factory. Give you a close-up look of at the trail rated badge, the Sahara. I like the way that's popping out. And then there's the vents on the side. You can kind of look from the bottom up. The holes go in this way, and so feeling it doesn't feel like a cheese grater or anything. It doesn't feel like it's all the way through, but it's actually little holes there at the bottom allowing the air to flow. As long as the key's inside the vehicle, to start it up, you just put your foot on the brake and push the button here. There's a start button. And let's go ahead and watch the screen. It has this little animation, which is pretty cool. You see that little Jeep driving across the bottom, and it has a neat little animation there. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. They hook in place, and there's your accelerator and brake pedal. And you can see if it has a clutch pedal there, it doesn't give you a huge amount of legroom, but that's basically the way the Wranglers have always been. The new latch design I think is fantastic. You move this down like so, and it stops. It doesn't actually hit the fender, so it only goes down to a certain point, and then you push down on the hood a little bit and it releases each side. There's a little rubber portion, so that way this metal piece can sink down in there and get a good grip without slipping out. So it's really easy. This is kind of spring loaded. Let's just go ahead and do this side, push down and release that. Okay, so now the hood is released from the latches, but we have this center latch here as a safety catch that we need to move there to the right to access the engine bay. Now it requires a prop. The actual prop is up here on the hood, and it swings down and goes right there. Okay, so taking a look at the engine bay, it has the insulated hood, insulated battery over there. And this one has the 3.6 liter Pentastar V6, just like the previous models. Just kind of an upgraded version of it. Insulated firewall as well. And it has a different cover over the engine so that you have more access here to the front. You also have access to the oil filter, which is located right here on the front of the engine. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the passenger side, except for it has the side mirror adjustments here. Manually adjusted seats. You do have a lumbar adjustments with a rubberized knob and a height adjustment as well. To the left of the steering column, you have your headlight switch. It has automatic parking, automatic on, parking, and off. And this button right here is for your fog lights. Interior dimmer switch for your gauges, and then your ambient light right here. There's a tilt and a telescoping steering column, which you can lock using this lever, which is really easy to find. Okay, so sitting in the driver's seat, checking it out. So with the hardtop, this one in particular has the exposed fiberglass here, and I hear a little bit of echo. Now with the optional headliner that's in this vehicle, it's basically, you know, these pads, it deadens all that echo, so it sounds a lot better. All right. So I have the seat all the way back and tilted back a little bit. So I would have to, I'm 6 feet tall, and I would have to have it back all the way to drive it. So just give you an idea of my legroom here. And there's no footrest, which that's a little bit of an issue. I guess they can't really have it if they have a manual transmission with a clutch. So there's not much room between the brake and the side there, just a little bit there, just enough for that pedal. So when I put my foot there, just kind of free flowing, you know, so I would probably have to prop it up like so for my comfort anyway. All right, so here's the steering wheel, heated steering wheel, by the way, leather wrapped with the white contrast stitching. Then you have the kind of like a tungsten or a smoked chrome accent around the outside. Your cruise controls, you know, here on the right side, your volume for your radio, as well as changing through your audio sources here on the back. If you're not familiar with some of the Chrysler products, they really, once you get used to those buttons on the back of the steering wheel, it's really hard to drive anything else. It makes it so very convenient. Okay, so here on the left side of the steering wheel on the back is your changing through your audio source or your radio stations, and then there's a center button that cycles through your presets on your radio. Bluetooth controls are here and a very advanced voice recognition system. And then these buttons correspond with a screen between the gauges, which we'll get to in a minute. Front and rear defrosters are here. And turn signals here on the left side. And check it out. You have the traditional gauges here for your RPMs, your speedometer, but they added this really nice screen. You can see what gear you're in and everything here with the two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive system. And then you can see your outside temperature, digital compass. Now these are customizable, these things here on the corners. And digital speedometer, nice big one. Now the previous model had a digital speedometer as well, but it was much smaller and more low-tech looking. Fuel gauge and your engine coolant temperatures there as well. So I'm going to use these buttons to cycle through. You can see this is part of a menu system. The first one is speedometer. Scrolling down takes us to the vehicle info, in which we can scroll to the right and get different temperatures and pressures and get more information regarding the vehicle. You can get the battery voltage and the tire pressure. And I really like the way they actually use a picture of a Jeep there with the tires extending out, just kind of exaggerating it. Scrolling it down, you get your powertrain here, whether it's four-wheel drive or two-wheel drive, and kind of what's going on with it. And then you have your pitch and roll of the vehicle, so that way you don't, go too far, and your degrees in which you don't want to go too far and flip the vehicle over. So if you're really doing some off-road, extreme off-roading, this is handy to keep an eye on that. Of course, we're on completely zero level ground pretty much. Okay, so scrolling down, fuel economy, you have two of them. You can you know, reset one and leave the other one going. You also have a range on this particular one. Scrolling down, this is your trip info. You have, once again, you have 2 of these, which you can reset as your distance traveled, your miles per gallon during that time, and then the time elapsed during that time, those distance traveled. This vehicle has a stop-start feature, and you can go here and figure out why it's working or not working. Right now the seat belt's unbuckled. You can actually turn that off when you get in the vehicle, which I'll show you how to do that in a second. Scrolling down, this is the audio, just whatever's playing on your radio. Down again is stored messages. Then it goes to the screen setup, which you can change the things here. It even highlights the corner in which it's talking about, and you can go in there and change it to whatever you want. So it's actually right now giving me a wind advisory because it is kind of windy. Thought that was interesting. So going in that particular top left corner, so we can choose the compass, outside temperature, time, range to empty, average miles per gallon, current miles per gallon, trip distance, trip B distance, or nothing. So give you an idea of what's there. Alright, scrolling down again, it goes back to your digital speedometer. So it gives you an idea of what's in that screen. Of course, you don't have to use all that stuff if you don't want to. You can just leave it on speedometer and just roll. There's the start button. And around the screen is a rubberized type material. It has this leather with a stitching, looking really nice with the Sahara. And this has the 8.4 screen, and really nice with the navigation and just the clarity of the screen, especially the backup camera. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so with the Uconnect system, it's really easy to use. You have your icons here on the bottom, starting with your radio. You have AM, FM, satellite radio, presets there at the top. Go to media, Bluetooth, auxiliary, USB 1, 2, and 3. Climate control, so you can change your climate here on the screen. Driver and passenger temperatures are separate. Your fan speed, you can even quickly go into your heated seat and heated steering wheel controls. You even look at your backup camera when you're not in reverse, which is nice. Active guidelines that turn as I turn the steering wheel. Push a little X to get out of that. Change where you want the air to blow. I'm going to go ahead and change it to that. You got front and rear defroster, recirculate the air, and it has a little shape of a Jeep, which is nice. Then you go into all your apps here, and then Travel Link is really cool. So there's all your different apps here, so we can scroll through that. See what's there. So if we wanted to, let's say we want to change one of these icons, we can do that. So navigation's here. Let's go ahead and change that to backup cam. Just press and hold it, drag it there, just like a cell phone. Now we have the backup cam as the icon instead of the navigation. So now we go and find the navigation right here, press and hold it, and we can put it back. So that way we can customize the screen here at the very bottom. Controls, we saw this screen. There was a little app from the climate going to the controls. You can also see your settings here. There's lots and lots of them. Alright, let's go into the navigation. You can put in a specific address, save addresses, have favorites and all that, or you can view the map. And it even has a little Jeep icon there instead of a little blue triangle, which some models have that. And then you have your phone over here. Once you pair your phone, you have access to your recent calls, your phone book, and all that stuff. You do have a traditional volume knob and tune through the stations, rubber gripped on the outside, really cool feeling, and easy to grip, even with the gloves on, because they have these raised portions here as well. There's your fan speed, your temperatures for your driver and your passenger, where you want the air to blow. So you have some redundant buttons for your climate control, front and rear defrosters, heated seat, heated steering wheel. Now the heated seats are a 3-stage, high, medium, and low. And I like the way they have the little Jeep there for recirculating the air. You can mute the stereo. You can turn off the stop-start feature when you get in the vehicle, so that way you don't have to have the vehicle stop the engine while you're sitting at a stoplight or whatever. Traction control off, default will be on. Parking sensors you can turn on or off. Downhill descent, this is for off-road use only. It's kind of like a slow creeping cruise control for slippery surfaces going downhill. You can always turn the screen off in case it's just distracting you. You just tap the screen and it'll turn back on. 12-volt power supply here. You can see it has a key showing you that it turns on and off with the ignition. Your power window controls. The front two are automatic, one touch down. And with Wranglers, they're always pretty quick. And you do have to hold it to go up. Driver and passenger are both the automatic one touch down. The back you do have to hold for down and up. You can also turn the power windows off or on, so you don't have kids playing around with them. The end of this little cover right here, and this is where you'll find the auxiliary input, USB, and little USB-C port right here for charging your device or, you know, playing music on the stereo system. So this does have the, I don't mention that I didn't stress enough, this has the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capabilities. So once you plug in, so your projection manager, once you plug in your device, it'll set up those particular features. But they do have to be plugged into the USB port there, or the USB-C. Okay, so here's a storage compartment. Now, it goes in there quite a ways, and then it has this rubber portion that comes out with the camouflage pattern on the bottom. Four-wheel drive controls. You have two-wheel drive high, four-wheel drive high, neutral, and four-wheel drive low. And a nice big shifter here with the red button on the end, and the old military Jeep. Let's go ahead and put it in reverse. Now, we saw the backup camera already. Just want to point out the backup camera, being in the very center position, you can back up to a trailer easier. You can see from the bumper to the sky and all around, but the clarity is much, much better than a lot of vehicles out there. Even the high-end vehicles don't have this level of clarity of camera. Neutral, drive, and then you have a manual mode here that you can bump and change through the gears. You'll know what gear you're in because it'll show here. So this vehicle has an 8-speed automatic transmission. The previous models had a 5-speed. So this one you can either get a 6-speed manual or you can get the 8-speed automatic, which is nice, real nice. All right, so there's the cup holders, place to put cell phone or wallet or business card there in the center portion. This is a rubberized material too. It's all rubbery. Handbrake, parking brake with leather stitching. Armrest is nice and soft, really soft. I can't even feel the bottom. Has a stitching. And it has two portions. The top portion is a smaller place with a rubber bottom. And the next one has two latches here, and here. And this is your larger compartment with there's the other USB port. There's places for wires to go in and out of this compartment right here. So the rear view mirror is an auto dim rear view mirror, and it's supported with this little piece right here. So when you fold down the windshield, it's not attached. So you maintain your rear view mirror even when you fold down the windshield, which is nice. Then you have an emergency button, roadside assistance. You can get those, you know, call those people. The visors have little clips here. Lights with mirrors. Nice little LED. Nice brightness. And this is like a durable type material, very textured durable material, like a kind of like a polypropylene, something like, I don't know, it does have like a cover, so it's a hard plastic with a little cover on the top, on the outside, like a wrapping. And then this is a your HomeLink garage door opener controls there with another clip. They also extend out. Okay, so this is the latch, and then you have these type of latches for taking off your Freedom Top. And it seems like it has a thicker, stronger seal around the outside, but you don't have those screw-in pieces that they used to have here. It does have these little tap lights, little reading lights here, LEDs, and then your dome light there in the center portion. And So we can turn that on. You can see it turns on the light there in the back as well. You also have ambient lights, which hopefully I'll be able to do this at nighttime so you can see. It actually has ambient lights here on the floorboard. Okay, so let's look at the visibility. Now, I have the seats in the way. I have the headrest up. So, the headrests, like I showed you, are able to fold those down. So if you don't have a particular person in the back seat or back seats, you can fold the headrest down and give you a little bit better visibility. But overall, I think it's really good. You can see out in all directions, really nice. Of course, the backup camera, the parking sensor, the blind spot monitor system, rear cross traffic alert, all that stuff really helps out as well. But just in general, it's really good visibility. The tire seems to be not getting in the way all that much. Dash has this little storage compartment here that's rubberized. Speakers are flush, really high quality. The Sahara is the, it's a high-end trim. It looks really good. All right, so let's look at the window sticker. So you can see 2018 Wrangler Unlimited Sahara. There's the colors, the engine, transmission, standard equipment. And then you get the optional equipment all the way here. Typically that's on the next line, but this one has so much optional equipment that is just fantastic. So you can see that each one package has a price next to it, and the next price you see there on the right side, showing that it's the next package. So you can use the pause button and read all this, and if you want to read all the features of this particular vehicle or see what's included in different packages. And there's this side here. Alright, there you have it. 2018 Jeep Wrangler, completely redesigned. I think they did a great job on this Jeep, and it's definitely worth a test drive. And I do think that the seats on this particular one are a little bit more comfortable than the previous models. It just could be my imagination, like I mentioned, but it just feels like it. But anyways, you can check it out for yourself. Thank you for watching. And check out more of my videos. I have almost 1,000 now, so you can check them out. And thank you to Vann Underwood here in Whiteville, North Carolina. And I'll see you guys next time.